Thank you, Chairman Joyce, Ranking Member Hoyer, distinguished members of the subcommittee. Thank you for the invitation to testify. And I want to start as someone from Virginia that recognizes the life and legacy of service of Jerry Connolly today. I grew up not far from his district, so I wanted to recognize him at the outset. Since joining the FCC, I've had the privilege of testifying before Congress a number of times, including in front of this subcommittee just last year. But this is my first time appearing before Congress as chairman of the FCC, and there's some new subcommittee members here. So I want to start with a brief introduction. I first joined the FCC as a staffer back in 2012, and I've had the privilege of serving in a number of different roles since then, from an attorney in the Office of General Counsel to a legal advisor for a commissioner, general counsel of the FCC, before President Trump nominated me to serve as a commissioner back in 2017. Over these past dozen years, I've had the honor of working alongside some of the most talented public servants in the federal government. I'm proud of the work they get done for the American people. And speaking of getting things done, it's been a particularly busy time at the FCC. We've hit the ground running, and I'd like to highlight some of the Commission's critical work under my leadership so far. To start, we've taken quick action on spectrum. This is important work because getting additional airwaves into the commercial marketplace drives down prices for consumers, increases competition, and advances America's national security. To that end, we launched a new proceeding that looks at freeing up more mid-band spectrum and what's known as the C-band. We started a proceeding to explore creative ways to use the 37 gigahertz band, and we're voting tomorrow on ideas for more intensive use of multiple gigahertz of spectrum in other bands. Earlier this year, we also kicked off the process for auctioning AWS-3 licenses, and the proceeds of this will be used to help facilitate the Rip and Replace national security program. More broadly, though, it's important that Congress restore the FCC's general spectrum auction authority. U.S. leadership in wireless is about more than connectivity. It's part and parcel of America's geopolitical leadership in national security. Auctioning spectrum is also good for the Treasury, as spectrum auctions raise hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue. Restoring FCC auction authority via a robust pipeline of mid-band spectrum, as President Trump called for just yesterday, as part of reconciliation, is one of the most important steps Congress can take in the near term. Apart from spectrum, the FCC's been busy on other fronts too. We're working to unleash new high-speed infrastructure builds, focusing on boosting America's space economy, launching a massive deregulatory effort and closing dormant proceedings. In parallel with all this, we're working to protect consumers. This includes expanding the agency's work to combat illegal robocalls, in bolstering our call blocking rules. The FCC is also taking steps to enhance our national security and public safety. At the beginning of my time as chairman, I created a new Council on National Security within the FCC that leverages all of the agency's authorities and relevant work streams to counter the threats posed by foreign adversaries. The Council is already hard at work, including an ongoing investigation into the U.S. operations of businesses that were previously placed on the FCC's covered list due to national security risks. At the same time, the FCC is focused on delivering efficient results. With respect to our current budget, the FCC is operating successfully under a CR of just over $390 million in addition to additional funding for our spectrum auction programs. On the workforce front, the FCC employed 1,461 full-time employees at the beginning of FY25. And as of the end of last month, the FCC employs 1,383 outside of our Inspector General operations. As President Trump and Congress finalize the FCC's fee-funded budget for next year, the agency will keep delivering great and efficient results for the American people. We're going to do so by accelerating infrastructure builds, promoting U.S. leadership in wireless, expanding our space economy, eliminating needless regulations, protecting consumers, including additional work on robocalls, and promoting our national security and public safety. While we make progress on this, the FCC is also going to be eliminating waste. We've already started this process and so far found more than $6.7 million in savings for the remainder of FY25. We've reduced the FCC's authorized contract spend by over $500 million. And a lot of the savings come from looking at bloated and duplicative IT contracts. These savings have had real results for the FCC and the agency's on sustainable financial footing. In closing, I want to thank you again for the opportunity to testify. I look forward to your questions.